Now, disclaimer, I am not the biggest GG fan. I recently just hopped on a wave of Guilty Gear because of Strive, because of how it looked. I've tried Guilty Gear in the past, but it was just me button mashing at a time where I didn't take fighting games or didn't have a competent, quote-unquote, enough brain to play them the way I wanted to back then. Now, I understand how both sides of the spectrum feel. You want the new players to come in and be able to fight everybody, right? That's, for some reason, a lot of Japanese fighting game devs' ideology of modernizing new era of fighting games. Then on the other hand, you got people that are like, yo, you're taking out the things that make Guilty Gear unique to the Guilty Gear franchise. Each fighting game has a mechanic, a system that is very strong, prevalent, or important to what makes each game different. I understand that 100%. Prime example, Tekken 7 has Korean backdashing. Imagine them taking that out in Tekken 8. You would be upset, because that's one of the coolest things, in my opinion, watching high-level Tekken, is the movement. Or what if Smash just took out the ability to, like, roll or dodge? Or even back in the day, a lot of people, and this is still ongoing in the Melee community for Super Smash Bros. Melee, compared to all the other games, wave dashing is one of the funnest things to do within the series. Is it the best and most practical? That's debatable, but wave dashing in Melee is one of the coolest accidents that ever happened to the Super Smash Bros. Franchise in general. Our first things first, the translated title says, Guilty Gear Strive, Daisuke Ishiwatari interview. While protecting the spirit of Guilty Gear, we aim to broaden the field of players who can enjoy the game. Okay, I can understand. That right there will probably piss everybody off. That will probably make everybody really upset already. Because it's straight out, at least he's coming out and saying it though. You get what I'm saying? Like, at least he's like, not hiding it or sugarcoating it. Like, they're coming out and saying it now. Because before, when the game was in development and they was talking about it, they already kind of told us that, like, Guilty Gear will change. And a lot of people were skeptical about it when they gave us that little black square about an update on Strive after Evo. But it's probably a risky move because they knew that Guilty Gear needs to change some things. The title for the game was announced, Guilty Gear Strive. Please share with us the thoughts and meaning behind the name. Ishiwatari, he says, continuing with the theme of entire Guilty Gear series, we decided on Strive. Furthermore, the 4 in Strive. Oh, that's cool. I didn't think about it. The IV is 4. That's cool. Cause what would be? I don't know. They'll have to probably come up with another like name. They'll probably have to do like Strife. I don't know, something like that. But that's kind of cool. So the IV in Strive really symbolizes Guilty Gear 4. So in bold, it also holds the meaning of 4, which yeah, but I think it's fine if this is ignored. Up until now, X, XX, and Xrd all contain the letter X. So we decided to go with Strive to separate this title from those games. This is the same thing that happened with BlazBlue. A lot of people don't understand this, but BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle is its own standalone thing from the actual Central Fiction, Chrono Phantasma, all the other BlazBlue games. There's completely different things. So right here, from my interpretation of what I read and what is stated here, is that Strive is its own thing to break away from the Xrd, XX series, period. That's something good. I think that's really good because that means that after Strive, Guilty Gear could probably return to form in the future, or like an evolution of Strive. Like Strive could be more complexity, and Strive they could probably bring back Okizeme. You know, the damage could be nerfed because right now they're trying to get people into the franchise. So next statement, what is the theme of Guilty Gear series? Daisuke replies, this becomes a discussion about the story, but the theme revolves around seeking the answer to the question, what does it mean to be human? If you've listened to Smell of the Game, the full version, towards the end of the song, it has like this little breakdown moment where it's like, what am I? What am I? What am I? And that was really cool because I kind of figured out that Guilty Gear is about trying to find your place in that type of world and how humans and machines connect somewhat. So That's really cool that he's still keeping true to that. For the new title as well, we want to continue with this theme and create a new drama to unfold. The next question on here is when it starts getting really spicy and controversial. I was able to play the demo. I thought the game was much easier to play than the older titles. Please share with us why you decided to make such a big change to the feel of the game. For this title, we felt like we needed to appeal to both people that have never played a fighting game and to those who enjoy the modern style of fighting games. Therefore, we emphasized accessibility during development. Now, I have the biggest hot take, and I'm going to say it on channel, I'm going to say it right now. The modern style of fighting games, a lot of people don't really necessarily like the modern style of fighting games. And then if you ask somebody today, you know, I've gotten this a lot, because I've covered it too. So this is just from my experience, but I could be wrong. When you ask somebody today, what is the modern style of fighting games, they'll say, yo, I like Dragon Ball FighterZ. I'm like, hey, okay, you like Dragon Ball FighterZ, right? They'd be like, yeah, that game tight as hell. And then I'd be like, what you like about Dragon Ball FighterZ? Oh, I probably wouldn't even play this game if it wasn't for Dragon Ball. So that bothers me because it's like Dragon Ball FighterZ is so popular, but you gotta realize the IP carried Dragon Ball FighterZ. That's literally what it is. That's one of the most modernist fighting games out here. Is there anything wrong with Dragon Ball FighterZ? I got a few gripes with it, but overall, you gotta acknowledge that Dragon Ball helped push DBFZ, period. Because if it was something else that wasn't like popular or mainstream as big as Dragon Ball is, it would have not done that well. It would have probably went underappreciated, undernoticed. 4Gamer really started digging deep. This is where I like you get in the developer's head, bro. So, next thing is stated is from 4Gamer. He said, Ishiwatari, you've always had the image of someone who loves traditional fighting games and really puts his own into personality into whatever he makes. I'll say it directly, but I felt the fact that you are making a new title easy to play is a bit uncharacteristic for you. Daisuke replies, the Guilty Gear series is up until now has certainly been heavily influenced by my own personal image of what a fighting game should be. But because of this, the games were difficult to approach for newer players. For this title, we want to reset the part and aim to make a game that can be enjoyed by many different players. Alright, so when I first saw this little image made by Giona, my brain was off. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning anyway, mad tired. Wasn't trying to process no charts or no diagrams. Alright, but look, let's get real with it. So, basically what Daisuke is in is, he's on a road to making Guilty Gear Strive accessible and fun for everybody. That's the main goal. However, the developers, his team, and Arc Works are probably coming to him like, yo, we should do this, we should do that. As much as he wants to do all these different ideas, this is not the Exert series. The goal of Strive is to get new people and make it accessible for everybody to play overall. So, what's happening here is these ideas from the devs could potentially give us what a lot of people would want with Guilty Gear, such as like Exorth, like Exert 4 or whatever, or XXX, or some mechanics of that nature that will make it, you know, have more different things. But he's declining them for the sake of what he's trying to do with Strive, making accessible and a reform of Guilty Gear, that he has to only take the ideas that will make the game fun to play, accessible, and cool for everyone to get into. So he probably declining those ideas because it probably won't work for this game. But those ideas, who knows? In the future, they could come to like an Exert update. Who knows? So then we fast forward a little bit. And he says, currently, So, Key, May, Axel, Chip, and Potemkin, Foss, and one unnamed character has been revealed. Can you share with us why you selected these 7 classic characters? This is something the entire staff struggled with, but we look for characters that are recognized around the world. Characters that Guilty Gear fans want in the game, and characters that feel good to new players. This is the lineup that we feel best match those criteria. I'm gonna be real with you. Let them not put Biken in this game. I'm gonna be upset because Biken was DLC in Exert. I like Biken a lot. I really like that character. That character fits me, like my energy, everything. Any design of Biken would be fire in this game. This is the one I want to talk about, right? So this is where Twitter went off. This is where Twitter was like, nah, Chief, this not it. This is not the wave. All right. So he talks about, certainly, I did not get the impression that the matches were short from the games I played, which the matches are still kind of same length from this game to that game. It's like, whatever. But let's get into the meat and potatoes of this video. The titles up until now focus on performing long and difficult combos in order to deal big damage. But in order to perform these techniques, a great deal of time spent practicing was necessary. We want to revise this part of the game, make it easier for players to have the chance to win against high-level players. Of course, we are making sure the game rewards players who put in the time practicing, so please be at ease. That obviously makes sense though. Like, if I play the game more than you, and I start understanding what hits what, like, I'm more likely to win the match versus somebody that's just mashing buttons for the first time. He say, in past titles, your success was linked to your ability to perform high difficult combos and set play. By simplifying this part, I see you are placing more emphasis on the mind games. We get that. Then Daisuke is like, up until now, I've aimed to create fighting games that play like Shogi. Shogi is a game where if there is a gap in you and your opponent's skill level, then you will almost never lose. However, in order to match the current trends, it is necessary to change that part. I don't know if this is a proper example, but I think I'm aiming to create something close to Mahjong. Gameplay where confident movements, reads, and luck can allow one to seize a chance at victory. To be honest with you, when I think of Mahjong, I haven't actually played it. I looked into it a little bit, but it reminds me of like Connect 4. Like you trying to trap somebody and getting lucky that they messed up to win. Because some cases, if both people know what they're doing in Connect 4, it all takes one mess up, and that's the luck component of it, where it's just like, oh, dang, he actually didn't see that, or you trying to play mind. So I get it. I get what he's aiming for here, which could be a beautiful thing or really worrying for a lot of players. All right, so his last statement from Daisuke Ishiwatari, I've been saying that a lot this video, is that the first playtest for the game took place in America, but we have plans to hold playtests within Japan as well. I believe the direct feedback from players that play the game is absolutely essential to creating a good product. So I would be grateful if you came out to play and share your thoughts and feelings on the new game. So that being said, at least they're aware that feedback is very strong to making this game better. I just want them to just change the HUD overall, and I want them to just like decrease the damage a little bit. Like certain moves do so much damage, it's crazy. I mean, if it's intended to make it feel good to do it, fine. But other than that, like, I'm excited for Guilty Gear Strive. I know a lot of people are skeptical on it, and to be honest with you, you have the right to feel that way because your favorite franchise is changing completely. There's the people that are on Twitter that's like, yo, if you don't like Strive, go play the older games, but it's one of those things where like nobody doesn't want to feel, you know, not included. Another thing that's kind of incorrect to say is, why don't they just make a new IP? Well, one, it's Daisuke's game. He's going to use that anyway. It's what he does. You got to let them create. Let Daisuke be creative. Let the Arc System Works team be creative with Guilty Gear. They made something with fighters. They're doing something with Grand Blue. And if you just don't like those games, you just don't like those games. But I respect that both of those games are pretty fun and good to a certain extent. And then you got Guilty Gear. And that's Arc System Works, the most renowned baby. They're going to take this with care the most. Another thing is that after reading the interview, I've came to terms that like fighting games do need to be modernized more, but the term simplified is getting confused with that, and it's making people frustrated. I feel like with fighting games today, a lot of people don't have time to practice those games compared to playing a team-based game, whereas if you lose, you're not going to say it's my fault. You're going to be like, bro, my team is trash.